Talking to you today about personal loans. And personal loans are definitely an alternative investment. We're all familiar with what they are. It's exactly what it sounds like. It's where I loan money out to one individual, usually a friend or family member, and you earn a return on investment and you get to help them out. So I'm just going to talk to you today about some of the benefits, some of the risks, and then we're going to do a series on these because although we're not huge fans of personal loans as alternative investments, we realize that they do have a place in people's lives. So definitely want to give you some how-tos, lesson learned, and definitely make some recommendations along the way. So as I explained the personal loan, I'll just let you know up front, we have personal experience with them here at No Boundary Investor as both a lender and a borrower. In fact, I borrowed money from my grandmother to pay for my first semester in business school while I was getting my MBA. So there you have, real life story of using a personal loan. I believe the interest rate was 10%, paid her back over a couple years. Now, let's take that point, right? Because she lent money to me, she knew me, I had a purpose. So the real benefit for her was, yes, to make a little bit of money, but ultimately to help out her grandson. And that's a key thing to remember here is that when you're making personal loans, the benefits break down into two different areas. You have basically the human side and the financial side. So on the human side, you're never going to make a personal loan to someone that you don't know. If someone comes walking into my house, says, you know what, never met you before, I need $20,000 for a business idea, I'm not going to loan that guy money, right? But friend comes in and says, you know, I have a business idea, $10,000 would really help me out. You know what? Listen to him and it sounds good. I want to help him achieve that purpose. So there's that human side where you want to help someone that you know and care about achieve their goal. On the financial side, you might as well make some money along the way. Now, personal loans generally earn more interest than an online savings account of 1%. And they provide a little bit more steady payment or a steady income stream, I should say, than like a dividend paying stock, and they're definitely less volatile than stocks overall. So you can see where the appeal fits in. More interest in the bank account, but not as risky as stocks, or at least it seems, right? And you get to help out your friend Joe Henry along the way. So those are the benefits. Now we come to the ugly part, the risk. And again, these risks break down into human and financial parts as areas as well. So on the human side, you can really ruin your relationship, right? I mean, now going back to my personal example, my grandmother, had I not paid her back, was not going to disown me. But there definitely would have been some tension, a lot of guilt, and within the family, if ever got out, it's not a good story to have. Oh yeah, you know, Travis borrowed money from grandma and never paid her back. What a deadbeat. You know, it's not something you want hanging over a relationship that you really value. On the financial side, couple different risks or a couple primary risks. And one is credit risk. And credit risk I'm using to basically cover pretty much everything in terms of repayment and getting paid back in full. So if they don't pay you back in full, that's what I'm calling a credit risk here. You lose out on some of the money that you lent. Maybe they're not able to pay you on time. That is a credit risk because if you don't get payment on time, that's lost opportunity of how you could be reinvesting that money elsewhere. But one thing I really want to talk about, and is very important to keep in mind with personal loans, is illiquidity. Now, personal loans are very illiquid, and an illiquidity risk is something that almost all alternative investments have. And generally, you should be earning a premium return for taking on an illiquid investment. Personal loans are illiquid without that return premium. And the reason why I say they're without it is because you are not going to charge your friend or family member a high interest rate to cover that premium. You're doing them a favor, earning some money on the side. You're not trying to maximize your return and make sure that all the risk you're taking on is adequately compensated for. So keep that in mind. And what I mean by illiquidity here, and that the personal loans are illiquid, just to summarize, is that if you needed that money back, I lend $10,000 to my friend, I need it back 6 months from now, and I go to him, he's not going to have that money to pay me back most likely. So then what do? I can't take that loan and sell it on the stock market. Maybe I can take it to another family member or friend and say, you know, this guy, he owes me money, but you know what? That person is probably going to say, well, I'll give you $8,000 for it. I'm not going to give you the full 10 that you're looking for. So that's why it's highly illiquid, and you need to keep that in mind. Don't loan out money in personal loans that you have any use for in the next 5 years. Remember that, very important. So some key thoughts on personal loans to close this out is, first, never lend money to someone that you don't know. Don't do that. Second, personal loans, although not our personal favorite, alternative investments do have their place because you're able to help someone that you care about while also earning some money. And the third and final point that I want to leave you with today is that while we know there is a place in investing for personal loans because of that personal connection, we highly recommend, if you're looking for return, to look elsewhere in alternative assets because there's a lot better opportunities out there for you. That said, we know that they have a place in everyone's lives, and we'll talk about them more in detail in some later videos. Thanks.